sisters. That was good. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you all very much. Good evening, everyone. Are you all asleep? Good evening, everyone. Good, very good. What a pleasure it is to be with you tonight. I have to say to you, Dave, as the chair of our Catholic Education Foundation, thank you. First of all, thanks for those kind words, but more so, thank you for the wonderful leadership that you give us. We are really blessed with a great foundation board. And I have to say to our president, Rich Lecklider, what a dynamo. What a dynamo Rich is. I want to say on your behalf, thank you. Now, Ruth Brinkley and I have worked together. Actually, we knew each other when I was serving in East Tennessee and Ruth was in Chattanooga. And so it's really good to be together again. And thank you, Ruth, for that wonderful leadership you're providing. Well, everybody, let me begin by saying that many of you remember the wonderful comedian George Burns. And George Burns was once asked, what makes a good homily? And he said, well, first of all, I am not a Catholic, but let me give my observations. He said, there are three things necessary to have a good homily. First of all, you have to have a snappy beginning, you have to have a powerful ending, and there shouldn't be too much room in between. Well, we'll see how I do with that. There's another famous speaker, and his name was Cicero. Cicero was known as perhaps the greatest orator named, so much so that about 300 years after Cicero lived, St. Augustine quoted him. And I want to quote what the famous orator from Rome, Cicero, said about a good speech. He said, a good speech teaches, delights, and sways. He said it teaches. Teaching is, he said, a necessity. It delights because we all want to be agreeable. But he said, swaying brings about victory. Swaying brings about victory. You know, victory is on our minds these days amid, do you know the NCAA March Madness is upon us? Do any of you follow that on TV? So whether you and I have loyalty to Division II Bellarmine, who's now in the elite, Elite Eight, I see that you do follow sports, or our Division I Cards and Cats that we hope will go real far. My friends, we aim for victory. Now, I want to talk to you tonight about, and I want to try to sway your opinion about a victory that is even more lasting. And here's what it is. Giving a child a break in life. To give a child a break in life is a victory that is lasting and that money can't buy. It is 25 years that we've been gathering. Thank God to Archbishop Kelly and the CEF pioneers who have been at this for 25 years. Remember that for that time and at your place, I believe they have a wonderful history of those who have been honored over these 25 years, living witnesses to what Catholic education can do to shape and change the lives of people. As Rich, I think it was Rich who said this, or maybe it was in the video, over $19 million has been given. Now, we give this money, as you know, to help with religious education. We give it for the formation of children, of teachers rather, but most especially, we give this money for tuition aid. And we're growing. You probably know this. This is the largest banquet in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Are you not impressed? Now, please let me take a few minutes, just a minute, to teach a little bit. As was said earlier, it's been 200 years in the Commonwealth of Kentucky that Catholic schools have been giving children and teens a break in life. You know, in Jefferson County, the oldest high school in all of Jefferson County, stretching back to 1831, is Presentation Academy. It's the oldest high school in all of Jefferson County. There's a modern author who in 2012 put out a book that got my attention. The book began with this title, How Children Succeed. I wanted to see what he had to say. The title, How Children Succeed, Grit, Curiosity, and the Hidden Power of Character. Grit. I used to call that discipline when I was in school. You know what discipline is? It means that when you start something, you complete it. So grit. Curiosity. The ability to use the gifts that God has given us to be able to expand all the gifts within each person and to be able to uncover the richness of this universe. The gift of curiosity, and then the hidden power of character. The best definition I've ever heard of character is the person who does the right thing when that person thinks that no one's looking. The person who does the right thing when that person thinks that no one's looking, that person has good character. And I submit to you that the students who graduate from our Catholic schools graduate with grit, with curiosity, and with the hidden power of character, and they deserve your applause. Now let me quote Rich Lecklider. I only have another 5 or so minutes to talk here, so I want to keep your attention. Let me quote Rich Lecklider when he says that a Catholic school is where faith, family, and learning come together. I think that is so accurate. It certainly was true in my life. I hope it was true in yours. Here's the way I like to say it. A Catholic school aims to make good citizens of heaven and good citizens of earth. Good citizens of heaven. We want our graduates to become future saints of God who in a very unselfish way are willing to sacrifice, to have love, and with people like Pope Francis to lead us to announce in their lives the good news of Jesus Christ. We want our graduates to be good citizens of heaven. But we also want our graduates to be good citizens of earth, seeking the common good. You know, in this beautiful land that we call home of Kentucky, it's no accident it's called a commonwealth. The commonwealth tells us that we together should be seeking the common good of all. I propose that our graduates are always in the leadership of seeking to be good citizens of heaven and earth, people willing to seek the common good because they are formed in strong character, they come and make solid families, they are good for our church, and boy, do they help with prosperous business that is good for all. You know, we come together tonight as fans. Maybe you're a graduate of a Catholic school, as I am. I know when I came here, people all the way said, what school did you go to? And I soon was clued in that they weren't talking about college. Whether you are a graduate or a parent or a grandparent, whether you are an employer or a coworker or maybe even a neighbor and you see the good that happens from a Catholic school education, you and I have become fans even better than March Madness can produce. Because we are fans who want to give a child and a teenager a break in life. Please give yourselves a round of applause for that. Now, I know you're saying, well, maybe this sermon, it's kind of like a sermon, and it is almost ended. It's half over already. But I did want to teach just a little more, and I wanted to teach on something that I think will delight you, as Cicero said, because today, as was announced, is a new day for our Catholic schools. We're 200 years old, but this is a new day. And I'll tell you, if you follow sports, you know about momentum. Brothers and sisters, with Catholic school education, we have momentum. Over the last 2.5 years, the 111 parishes that form the Archdiocese of Louisville, we're talking about 24 counties that stretch from the Ohio River all the way down to the Tennessee border. The 111 parishes came together. Now, we don't often come together and agree on anything. But I will tell you this much, that over this 2.5 years, we came together with what I call common purpose. And you know what united us? We all agreed on one thing. Young people and teenagers deserve a break. They deserve the opportunity of a Catholic school education. And I got to tell you that from this day forward, we are increasing on all levels. First of all, a Catholic school is close at hand. Within Jefferson County, there is not a student who lives in Jefferson County that lives more than 20 minutes from our Catholic school, and we want them to make that possible in their lives. If we look at all 24 counties that stretch, as I said, from the Ohio River to the Tennessee border, 94% of all the students in those 24 counties live within 35 minutes of a Catholic school, and we want to make that school available. I'll be celebrating Mass at St. James Catholic School down in E-Town tomorrow morning. This talk will be over by that time. We also want to make our schools financially accessible, and I listened carefully as Rich Lecklider was talking. We want families to give another look at our Catholic schools. Now, don't get me wrong. When I went through Catholic school, it was a sacrifice for my family, and it was probably a sacrifice for your family, and that won't change. When we think something's good for our students and for our children, we're willing to sacrifice. But today we need partners. We need people to walk with parents who sacrifice for their children. This coming year, we will double the tuition aid that is available for families that can't afford a Catholic school. We will double it. And I have to tell you this too, for families, regardless of their religious background, for families who find themselves below 200% of the poverty line, there will be a tuition discount for every one of those families. And I'll let you in on another little secret, and this is getting, well, I guess it's getting near the end of this talk, not too far away. We've begun exploring state tuition tax credit in the Kentucky legislature. There are 20 states in the United States of America that have opportunities. But let's face it, we're not going to do that. Anything good and worthwhile is not going to happen if we sit on our hands. We need every one of us to take this active interest. But the bottom line is this: our schools need to remain financially accessible because we are interested in giving students a break. Rich also mentioned that our schools are reaching out culturally, including Latino students and families who are in underserved area, and the church needs to be there. You see, it's very simple. It is a new day, and every child deserves a chance. Do you agree? Now, believe me, I'm in the last 2 minutes. In 2009, I was privileged to lead a group on the level of the United States Catholic Bishops to form a pastoral letter on marriage. It was called Marriage, Love, and Life in the Divine Plan. And we did some listening sessions prior to that. And we asked parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, we asked them, what is it that you like most about family? And you know what the most popular answer was? They said, we love watching our children grow. They said, we love watching our children grow. I remember when I was a pastor before becoming a bishop back in Pennsylvania, the parish secretary, Ann Fry, God rest her, she had taught Catholic school for 3 decades, and she used to tell me, she said, every student, every day deserves a clean shirt and a fresh start. I always remembered that. Every student in school every day deserves a clean shirt and a fresh start. Giving a child a break, that's good Catholic education. That's our goal. It's a chance for a child and a teen to have a good education for her good, for her future life in heaven, for her contributions to life on earth, and let's face it, for the good of all of our families, for the good of our church, and for the good of our community. We have a worthy, worthy cause. But here's the thing. We need your help. And that is why we are so thankful for your presence and for your support here this evening. Can you and I give a child, a teen, that chance? The answer is yes. God bless you.